Hello, 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 YouTubers. Welcome to PDINA Royally Teachable Moments. In the beginning, when I started my channel, I really was hoping to pass on some words of wisdom to this woman, to learn something. Learn something, woman. Just learn something. And she still is not learning. She still is not doing what she should be doing to turn this all around. Because it's a hot mess. It is a hot mess. Let's get into it. Let's talk about why this current situation that we have right now with Meghan is happening. I've spoke a little bit about it in my last video, but I wanted to dive in a little bit deeper about some things, something that was reported on by this guy named Mark Boardman. He is the entertainment editor at Mark Meets, and he told the Daily Express US that this could be the last chance to turn their careers around. Yes, this essentially is the last chance. This is a moment that has to be so on point that if there is a hiccup with this next decision that they or Meghan comes out with, because we know she's living her life separate from her husband, and this career path that she is on is nothing to do with Harry. So this is a pivotal moment. So he takes it a little step further, and he says that they need to receive an Emmy Award nomination for their documentary series in order for Netflix to keep them around. Because of course, if they get some nomination, that's going to elevate their status, and Netflix is going to also be elevated by that as well. So if there is no nomination, if there is no award won, that's it. And he says he has no idea what will happen to them. Meghan has the children to worry about, but acting is definitely going to be in the pipeline. She is definitely going to put herself back in front of the camera as an actress, because they were saying that she wants to get back into acting and to be an A-lister, to be a famous celebrity actress. That's her ultimate goal, because if you take everything that she has spent her whole career doing, getting acting jobs and going on auditions and trying to get these big breakthrough roles, that desire, that want or need to have a Hollywood actress lifestyle is still there for her. And that's something I believe she is going to be resorting to, sure enough, like at some point, although she needs to come up with content to produce. And I know they've said in the past that she's not going to get back into acting, but I don't know. She can't really get the celebrity status that she really wants unless she is acting. But I want to go to just a little bit about the conniving, because we know that the king had his second coronation over in Scotland, and Harry and Meghan, they come out with these photos of the children at some 4th of July parade. Now let's just take a look at this picture. Okay. Now, the first thing I'm thinking, well, why is that picture so blurry? I mean, like, who's taking these pictures? It's like the games that they are playing. And then you look at this child, and I don't know. I'll just be like looking suspect sometimes. Like, is that the same child? I don't know. They just play so many games. So trying to overshadow the king's coronation. And speaking of the coronation, there were a lot of protesters, just the backlash about not my king kind of a thing, similar to what happened when I was over in the United Kingdom at the coronation, and I heard the protesters there as well. But it just seems like they had the protesters there, then they had Harry and Meghan putting out this photo op to overshadow the coronation, which they were invited to but decided not to go. And it's just the games that they play, the back and forth, the pettiness, and then the blurry picture, and then the child, you know, she is dressed like as if she were in Great Britain, right? And she's just looking very British. And I think that's symbolic of Harry wanting to raise his children, I think, as British children. But I just don't understand why you toy around with these photo ops. And it's just more of the same old with them. And it just does not seem to be any real effort to just be decent people. They're not even in the right mindset to even have careers that are meaningful because they're too busy toying around with the press and the king and messing around trying to overshadow the royals in Great Britain. When do they ever really focus on the work that they need to do to just live their lives? And just do you, boo. Just do you. It's this constant figuring out how to play these games to further the narrative of being the ones to be the troublemakers. That's what they are. Whether they're giving an interview or putting up something in the press, releasing photos with backgrid or whatever, it's to do things that are taking them away from the work that they should be focusing in on if they were really serious about their careers. Now, what I do want to say is with William just cracks me up. Because, okay, listen to this. A source has spilled to US Weekly that William's friends had the idea to take him to a nightclub for his birthday. William, at first, he was skeptical about it. He decided to step out of his comfort zone and do something that he hasn't done in years. So he wound up having an amazing time. Do you all remember this video of William when he was like doing it? Every time I see that video, I just have to laugh. So you can only imagine William was out there doing his own thing. He's got such a great personality. I really like William. I think he is very authentic and true and good. Just a well-rounded type of a person that seems to be out there to do good. Okay, so he is busy at work working on his project. We also know his Homewards charity, which launched earlier this week. Kensington Palace issued a statement saying that the project will unite an unprecedented network of organizations and individuals to create and deliver tailored plan to prevent homelessness in their areas. Man, I wish my charity was in the UK, because if I had a chance to partner with this Homewards organization and to help with homelessness, I'd be all in on that with my charity. But that is just so wonderful. Such good news. Now, Harry had the nerve. Did you guys hear about this? Harry did not attend his friend Jack Mann's wedding, but Jack, he did attend Harry's wedding. Is this not messed up? He has just really let himself go in a big way. So going to Harry not showing up to this wedding for his friend, and it really comes down to what we've been hearing. Harry and Meghan are no longer together physically. He's hardly ever at the home, and they are in a position now where even being together for an occasion of a wedding would be too difficult, because you would have to really force wanting to be there with your significant other. And they are just not in a good position as a couple. And Harry knew his wife was not going to come. He didn't want to go alone without her, because we know the rumors and the talking about him not being with her and why is she not again supporting her husband. It was just better to not go. And that's what's happened. This couple are not together anymore. It's so bad. Apparently, they are just at each other all the time. And it looks like Harry is trying to find a way that he can get back within the royal family without Meghan. How can he get back within the good graces? And it makes sense to me that he would try to find a way back without Meghan. And I remember a story coming out about this almost half a year ago, and it sounded kind of crazy at the time, but I think it makes a lot of sense now. How can we get this couple separated and to just pay Meghan off? I don't think that the royals will ever pay her a cent for anything, but I do believe that they are trying to find ways to keep that woman out. Like, how do we bring Harry back and leave her out the picture? But then you have the problem with the children, if there are children. I mean, I know it's all this craziness around these children. And I'm just going to say, look, and once we get the proof, we'll talk about it. But let me just say, we know that there are some stories out there that the children don't exist. And there's speculation around just the photos of the children, and Meghan hardly ever really showing their faces, the peripherals, the side views all the time. Like, it's just sneakiness and it's just conniving all the time. It's like, can you just take a picture? Do you got to have all of the movements and controlling and side views and angles and the positioning and the blurriness with it's just insanity. You know, people entertain this idea about the children because of just how they play around with things like this. It makes you think, it makes you go, oh, maybe something going on. Something is going on. So that aside, they're trying to figure out how they can make this work. Now, we know that with the king having his rulership and over those within the family in terms of legally being bound to the monarchy, the children are of Harry, that would not really be something I think the king would want to try to enforce or to have an upper hand over that logistical thing with the children, because they would still belong to the king in terms of custody. But because they're in America, Lily was born in America. The laws around divorce, children usually go to the mother if she's a good mother. And I can see that being just a big conundrum that the king would not want to be involved in. But like, how do you even get around that now? How do you try to have your normality, your normal life, now that you're separated from these children? Like, what? Or how do you explain there really aren't any children? Like, however you try to do it, whether there are kids or not, it's a problem, okay? It's a problem. So for now, Harry's just going to have to keep trying to figure it out. I know there's a lot of drama going on. There's a lot of pressure. Their livelihood, their future is at a breaking point. Like, what you gonna do? Make a decision, and it better be good. It better be good.